Hello, good evening. There's this channel called Nurse Glory, this Caribbean nurse living in Kuwait in an interracial marriage family. So there's like all these different personalities that we see. Like, what are some of the YouTube channels that you like to watch? Or Facebook channels? I have a group on Facebook called Child Free at 40. And on Tuesdays, we share videos that we watched fully on YouTube. That's a big thing if you can get all the way through a video. It should be more share worthy. Went out to a golf course party last night. A party in the clubhouse. Well, I don't know which hole it's at, but there's a lounge on the property and there's also a golf course there. So there's like cigars on one level, tables, candles, fire pit, like on the property of the structure, tables with different kinds of flames going. You know, after the sun had set. I've been there before. I like their menu that they have. The food looks really nice and clean on pictures. So, yeah. And so, yeah, see that? This is one tree. And then when you turn and pan this way, here's another one. And look, here's another one. Small, very small. Maybe this one's medium, this one's quite large, obviously. So trees, every part of nature is like a paintbrush for later. And nature itself is a whole canvas, even when we build upon it, because we're carbon-based beings. Especially when you interact with man-made materials, especially when you don't. Either way. See? So orange chakra is a place of creativity. So I'm just using that as an opportunity to think of what orange means in the body. Even though it's made from synthetic fibers and it was placed there by a man or woman, human, carbon-based being, because it was tied up high. Does this look like it was placed here by man? Or does it look like nature placed it here? Does it look like somebody moved it with their foot already? And how does that impact nature? Here's another one. Look, dude. In case you missed it. There's ways to read an entire trail. And each trail and parts of trails. Just like there's ways to read moments that pass by, or longer frames of time that pass by. This little branch is reading everything. Look, even it gets to interact with passerbys by shedding some of its outer layers of bark. Other parts of the tree might call it death. That part of the tree might call it growth. Progress, is it death or is it growth? Is growth leading towards death? Or is growth, like the point of this hill, always leading to an ultimate fulcrum in a sequence of personal goals? Like the wind in the willows, but these aren't willows. So there's different ways to interact with the sun. Not just tanning bed philosophy. What are some ways that you interact with the sun that's there for you and for all the plants? Part of being grateful for the sun is like being grateful that there's only just one. That's like one of the main things. To remind you, sun, thank you for just being one, and you're already one. Thank you for guiding us in language all around the globe, showing us how to share with our tongue and the mold, the template, the lexicon, the logos, for all the bound books that are protected, and for our throat, palate, everything, where we can create new language. If anything has to start from anew, thank you for our DNA and RNA that operates like Bluetooth. Thank you for sciences that allow us to engage in personal inquiry and share our perspective with others so they may have lenses to share too, like mothers, when you have something to share. sharecrop philosophy is like a masculine way of giving. Philanthropy is a masculine way of giving. Cultivating all of your assets, everything that you have, all the cells in your body to make something that didn't exist before and is in a format that you can share. That's masculine. Then you make an arrow, you spend the day crafting it, and you catch what you need to catch for your family and your lineage, right? Your direct arrowhead. And then sometimes when you identify with the other side of the spectrum, as we all do, because we all have the chemical composition of each thing currently expressed by man in our body, endorphin wise, endorphins, hormones, amino acids, all these cocktails in our body. The more we come in tune with the words that we should say, we can cast our spells on ourselves, and then everything will be kind of swayed that way, where you're making yourself an ideal of yourself. So it's like personal goals, which is kind of redundant because goals are already personal. So it's like you're programming yourself. When you start to use your own methodology to help yourself reach your goals, that's like spelling. Writing it down, casting it into a physical form, especially if the materials that you're using. When we wrote in paper, we had to write everything out, scraping into a surface made of natural material, sometimes not. Then when we transfer, this is reintroducing adults post-pandemic, thinking about the times before and now. A multifaceted view of where we are, me, situating myself on this trail, nature. I forgot what I said nature was the other day. Something like conscious expression or conscious annuity. Nothing like that, but also something like that. And you look at when are the times that you distract yourself. Come on, kettlebell. Oh, you're there still? Hey, how's it going? So, trees deal with emotion for later. So if a part of a tree is twisting this way, that can be for now and later, like foreseeable. So like, and the trees are here for us, like because we can see them, duh. There's parts of the plane that we can't interact with, parts of the physical plane that we can't interact with because we're not tall enough. And that's when you get giant beanstalk dude on a twisting plant matter that goes up tall himself. That's where that comes from. So it's like you can pass by a whole colonnade of trees, and that colonnade of trees can be expressing to you something for now. And when we see art in trees, that's an example of form following the function of trees. So see these trees leaning this way and leaning that way. It's kind of like the path. This path was carved by someone who has the intuition. Trailblazers who know how to blaze a trail with following the form of all the expressions that are already there. Carbon-based expressions. Carbon expressions, yeah. So it's like these carbon-based expressions, we all are in concert together. And look at this red. Red is safety and security in the chakras. Look at this. A root. Oh no, it's not. It's just this. Well, I hear someone with some type of air gun, so I think I'm going to sharpen my sword. They were already doing that earlier. I hope they're not killing woodland ducks. I don't think the birds like that. Look, this is manure, which is great. Okay, so one other thing, so when you are in a meditative state, what images do you see? What things are projected from your retinas? Retinas go two ways. Hello, they're retinas. So, what kind of images do you see when your eyes are closed? Basic Goonies, it's a movie. Brad, come in here, with my eyes closed. Oh, they're gonna kiss with their eyes closed. Must be a thing. Blame it on a movie. And then, look, here's another one. Oh my God, is that so bad? I left a part of one part of the forest and another part of the forest. Look at this. Can't really see the dimension here, but it's like a dope two-sided path. Anyway, see, passing by a tree that's broken right now. It's so sad, right? See how the trees can express what's happening as you pass by them. There's so many. I'm sure you can find something. There's millions of formations in here. It's all Fibonacci stuff. Fibonacci is the divine sequence, divine ratio that nature follows. We got to a crux. Imagine, here we go, the middle passage again. Here we go. It's not even Juneteenth. Chirac. Talk about Chirac. Chirac and ammunition. Can we just agree? No more taking out civilizations, okay? Can we do that? Can we take the skills of everyone and thank them for them and employ them, please? Let them start businesses. Anyone that we think of lower than, then steal their business ideas. Do that, please. But when people are in business, let them be free. Really. Like, there shouldn't be a chain of paycheck to paycheck, which is not a bad chain, actually, but the goal should be to get to a point where each person can live their whole entire life without even investing in the next lives that come after them. That way they can sit on their spoils and waste their generations. Let people do that. They'll be bored, yeah. Let everyone have an unlimited amount of food that they have to cook. Why is there a piece of wood off of there today on the bridge? Something's weird out here, you think? Air guns, broken glass bottle at the entry. I think it's time for me to move on from this park. Just kidding. Like, oh, who does that? Look at this tree. This tree. I'm like, I'm gonna fall next year in the fall. And I'm gonna fall right on you. Or I'm gonna fall right now on you. Like, how precognized is it the way that leaves fall? If they're directed by the wind, is it random? If you're measuring the isobars on a map, that makes wind not random. Because even if it's randomized, it can still be studied. Either way. So nothing is random. Look at this animal. This tree expressing itself as some kind of animal here. Even these guys aren't even bright and perky. They're all limp now. Maybe because the sun is setting. I don't know. Nothing to praise directly. Got some wind. It's like these trees follow the circular activity of this part of the hill in their growth pattern. That tree wrapped all around. So the growth pattern of trees is follows the current of the wind. Are there other features of measurable climate data that can be used to define the nature of trees, further define the nature of trees in the Secret Life of Plants documentary that I watched. Jeez. When you walk on land here or anywhere in any country, you think of the battles that they had to fight previously in order for everyone to have their freedom. A couple of weeks ago.
Total distance 1 mile.
Okay,
Total time 28 minutes and 57 seconds. Split pace 28 minutes 57 seconds per mile.
I drove out to Gettysburg last month. It's like an hour away. You get in the car, then you're there. It's dope seeing people at the university walking around doing stuff. Imagine the defense science. Political fiasco. So all I'm doing is just opening the base of my spine, like stretching while I'm still walking. And trying to be grateful and open to nature, listening to nature and calming down. That's what that means. When somebody says calm down, just say, all right, I'll be back. And then go outside so I can do that. And if you can't go outside, then you can try to wind your spine, check in with each of your vertebrae, check in with each of your chakras. Think of them as colors. Because when your body is measured with different tools, those colors are expressed there, just like the rainbow in the sky. It's how frequency dissipates. A part of it is color. It's visualized by the eyes. There's plenty more to it. We're too young as a civilization to share what's been remembered and what's already here written down. Contributed by different civilizations and protected. All right, I get to go now.